Hello, sports fans. It is Tuesday, May the 31st, the year 2016. And as always, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Great to be back with you guys. Hope you had a terrific holiday weekend here in the States. Happy Memorial Day to you. Let's start in the NBA, where the NBA Finals are set. It will be Golden State and Cleveland. Golden State wins last night. They rally from 3 games to 1 down. They beat Oklahoma City 4 games to 3. Great job by Golden State. They looked dead after Game 4. Oklahoma City had blown them out 2 games in a row. They look like they're tired. They look like they had no legs. Oklahoma City ran them off the court, and Golden State found a lot of intestinal fortitude and won the last 3 games. Game 6 was the game. That is the game where Oklahoma City is going to be kicking themselves. They had a 13-point lead at home. They had a lead with 5 minutes to go, and they just coughed that game up. Turnover after turnover after turnover. Durant and Westbrook, bad shot after bad shot. Then Thompson and Curry hit everything. So it was just such a mess for Oklahoma City in Game 6. That was the game they had their chance. Last night, Oklahoma City got off to a nice start. They're up 10, but they melted down in the third quarter, got outscored 29-12. Had their chances to get back in the game late in the fourth quarter. They got it to 4 with about a minute and a half to go, but then Ibaka had that terrible foul on Curry. Curry shooting a 3 with like 1 on the shot clock. Ibaka fouls him. Curry hits 3 free throws. Good night, Oklahoma City. Golden State back to the finals. Give Golden State a lot of credit. They're down 3-1 in this series. They got to win the big Game 6 on the road. They were trailing most of that game. Give them a lot of credit. Thompson and Curry hit all the big shots. This is a bitter pill for Oklahoma City to swallow. Personally, I would have liked to have seen Oklahoma City win. I would have liked to have seen an Oklahoma City-Cleveland final. I don't want to see the same teams we saw last year, Golden State and Cleveland. That's what I've been saying all year. Before the season started, I said the best teams in the NBA usually get there, and here we are. Golden State and Cleveland, I mean, the same teams we had last year. Golden State with the home court, and I think Golden State's going to beat them again and break the Cleveland fans' hearts yet again. As far as Oklahoma City getting back to them with Durant, Durant is a free agent. And I've been hearing all year about him being a free agent. Where is he going to play next year? Why doesn't Kevin Durant just stay in Oklahoma City? I mean, he has got a good team there. They were a whisker away from making the finals. Where is he going to go? I heard rumblings he may go to Golden State. Now, come on. You're going to put Kevin Durant on Golden State, a team that could possibly have won 2 titles in a row. He's going to jump on that bandwagon. I'd be so disappointed in that. Then I heard he might go to San Antonio. This is a team that he just beat this year. Now he's going to go run play for them. I mean, was he going to go to a bad team like the Lakers? That makes absolutely no sense. So to me, Kevin Durant should stay in Oklahoma City. I don't want to see him run to a bad team like the Lakers. I don't want to see him on Golden State. And I don't want to see him on San Antonio. Stay right there in Oklahoma City. You got Westbrook. You got Ibaka. You got some good pieces around you. Try and add something. I don't want to see Kevin Durant leave Oklahoma City, especially for... Imagine if he joins up with Golden State. I mean, how ridiculous would that be? I mean, come on. But so we'll see where Kevin Durant goes. Hopefully he stays with OKC. But great job by Golden State rallying here. Tremendous job by them. What a season they've had. Set the record in the regular season for most wins. And now they're in the finals yet again, looking to go back-to-back. And they are playing Cleveland again. I'll tell you, Cleveland, I think Cleveland would have beat Oklahoma City. Cleveland would have had home court against OKC. Cleveland, I think, beat OKC twice in the regular season. I think Cleveland would have beat them. I don't think Cleveland is going to have enough to beat Golden State. I'm going to pick Golden State in 7 here. I think it's going to be a good long series. I give Cleveland a shot. I'm going to be rooting for Cleveland just because I want to see the city of Cleveland finally win something. Golden State just won last year. But I think it's going to be Golden State again. When Curry and Thompson go on these runs, they can't be stopped. I didn't like the way Cleveland played on the road in the Toronto series, dropping 2 games on the road there. They did win Game 6. Give them credit for that. But I just think when all is said and done, Golden State is going to be a little too strong. Kevin Love has to play well for Cleveland to have any shot. Kevin Love's got to play well, especially on the road. So the NBA Finals kicks off Thursday at Golden State. Should be a good long series there. As far as the NHL Stanley Cup Final, Game 1 last night, Pittsburgh at home beats San Jose 3-2. They go up 1-0 in the series. Pittsburgh looked like the faster team last night, outshot San Jose by a lot. Pittsburgh has a bad habit, though, of getting up by multiple goals and giving it away. They were up 2-0 again last night. You look up and it's 2-2. They get the goal late to win 3-2. That's the one bad thing about Pittsburgh in these playoffs. They've had multiple goal leads in a lot of games and given them up. But overall, Pittsburgh is doing a tremendous job. Do you believe how far they've come this year? Beginning of the year, you didn't think this team was going to make the playoffs. You thought they were going to break up this team. They make a coaching change. They make all these moves during the season. What a tremendous job by Pittsburgh. I think this is going to be a good, long series. By the way, every expert picked San Jose to win this series. I must have looked at 30 predictions. Just about everyone picked San Jose. So I wonder if they'll change their mind after Game 1. Pittsburgh looked like the better team last night. I know in the NHL things can change game to game. I expect this to be a good long series. And by the way, Barry Melrose picked against Pittsburgh in every round so far. He's been wrong every round. He said the Rangers were going to beat him. He was wrong. He said the Capitals were going to beat him. He was wrong. He said Tampa was going to beat him. He was wrong. And now he's picking San Jose, and he could be wrong here. He also said the Blues were going to win the Cup. So Barry Melrose, he's on a losing streak here. Barry, stop with the predictions already. You're getting a lot wrong in a row. So Game 2 back in Pittsburgh on Wednesday night. Like I said, this should be a good long series. Real quick on the baseball. Let's check the baseball standings. American League East, Boston 31-20, doing a tremendous job. David Ortiz, I mean, he is some hitter. He just continues to go, even at an advanced age. We'll see if this is really his last year. I mean, he says it's his last year, but who knows? Boston doing a nice job in first place. Baltimore 28-21, 2 back. They're having a nice year. Toronto 27-26, 5 back. They are showing some signs of life. Believe it or not, the Toronto pitching has done well this year. Their hitting, which you thought would be great, is really letting them down. They are playing a little better now. They're 5 back. Yankees 24-26, 6.5 out. I just don't think this is a good Yankee team. Tampa 22-27. I wouldn't count on them for anything. They've slipped back to last place. The Central Division, Kansas City 28-22. Kansas City all of a sudden back in first place despite all the injuries. You figured they would be there. I mean, Kansas City's got a solid team. They do have a lot of injuries, so we'll keep an eye on that. Cleveland 26-23, game and a half out. They're doing a nice job. White Sox 27-25. They're really starting to dip the other way. They got off to a hot start. They're falling to pieces lately. Detroit 24-26, disappointing, and forget about Minnesota. The West, Texas 30-21. No surprise. We thought Texas would be right there. Seattle 29-21, half game out. They're doing a nice job. Angels 23-28, 7 out. They don't look like they're doing much this year. We'll see if they keep Mike Scioscia. I like Mike Scioscia. I think he's a tremendous baseball manager. The last few years, there's been rumblings they're going to replace him. He always seems to hang on to his job. The Angels always seem to make a run at the end of the year. We'll see if they can do it again this year. We'll see if Mike Scioscia hangs on for another year. Oakland 23-29 and Houston 23-29. They have won 3 in a row, but Houston should be much better than this. Terrible job by Houston. Plenty of time, though. We'll see if they can get back in it. That's a tough division. Texas and Seattle playing well. National League East, Washington 31-21. They lead the Mets by 1 game. Mets are 29-21. You figure those two teams are both going to make the playoffs. Phillies 26-25. They've lost 4 in a row. You didn't expect much from the Phillies. They got off to a hot start, starting to dip. We'll see how they progress from here. Miami 26-25, and Atlanta just having a dreadful season. The Central, the Cubs are 35-14. They've won 6 in a row. The Cubs are a monster team. We'll see if this is the year the Cubs can finally win it. Once they get to the playoffs, they're going to have a lot of pressure on them. Pittsburgh 29-21. You forget about Pittsburgh. You forget about Pittsburgh every year. They are a good team. They're 6.5 out. That's because the Cubs are playing so well. But Pittsburgh is a team that we all forget about. Very good team. St. Louis 27-25. Not one of their better teams. They're okay. Not a great St. Louis team. Milwaukee and Cincinnati. Forget about them. The West, every time you look up, the Giants are in first place. This is not the best Giant team I've seen, but there they are, 32-21. They look like the class of the West again. Dodgers 27-25, 4.5 games out. The Dodgers, I'll tell you, they're not getting their money's worth. Well, they have like a $300 million payroll, and they're 27-25. That's not good enough. Colorado 23-27, 3-7 their last 10. Arizona very disappointing, 23-30. That's a very disappointing job by Arizona. And forget about San Diego. That's where you are in your baseball. I mean, baseball goes on forever. I mean, we got all sorts of time in baseball. A couple other things I wanted to touch on. Did watch a little lacrosse over the weekend. I want to congratulate the North Carolina lacrosse team. Both the men's and the women's team wins the national title, and they beat the Maryland team, both the men and the women, on the Maryland side. So great job by North Carolina. Imagine if you are a Maryland fan and you go down to Philadelphia, you have the #1 ranked team in women and men, and you lose in the finals in both games, and you lose in the men's final in overtime. That is a rough trip. So congratulations to North Carolina. They win the men's and women's title in the lacrosse, and Maryland, what a bitter pill to swallow. They lose the men and the women's title in lacrosse, and they lose the men's title in overtime. Oh, that's a rough trip for the Maryland fans. Indy 500. Rossi, the rookie, wins the Indy 500. Was there 350,000 people at the Indy 500? I got to check that attendance. That's what I heard the attendance was, 350,000. That's absolutely ridiculous. The French Open is going on. I mean, you know how I feel about tennis. I mean, tennis to me has lost all its luster, and it's been this way for a long time. Every time I look up at the French Open, somebody is hurt and leaving the tournament, or it's a rain delay. Rain delay after rain delay after rain delay, and they have no roof at the French Open yet, so you can't, once it starts raining, all the matches are suspended. All the matches yesterday were rained out, and today it looks like they're going to get most of the matches rained out again today. Got to get a roof there at the French Open. They finally put a roof on at the U.S. Open. How many rain delays? Tennis is hard enough these days to watch, and then when you got to watch rain delays in tennis, that makes it even worse. And then what about all these guys going out? Federer out with the back injury. Nadal, again, another injury. He goes out with the wrist. Tonga goes out. The men's side is not deep to begin with. Then you get all these guys out with injuries. There's nobody left. Again, it's the same couple of players that are going to be in the finals again. Tennis, I'll say it again, and I know I'm being redundant here. Weakest field of players in the history of men's tennis. These players are gutless, they have no game, and they have no fight in them. And I don't want to hear the tennis people like McEnroe and Everett telling me how great tennis is. Tennis is at an all-time low. An all-time low. And they have players in the top 10 you couldn't pick out of a lineup. And I don't want to hear how great David Ferrer is. David Ferrer has never won a major and probably has never won a major. I was flipping around before and I heard someone talking about how great David Ferrer is. Give me a break. David Ferrer will probably never win a major. Weakest field of players in the history of men's tennis, and this French Open is unwatchable. No Nadal, no Federer, rain delay after rain delay after rain delay, unwatchable tennis, weakest field of players in the history of tennis, especially on the men's side. So I don't want to hear McEnroe, and I don't want to hear Everett telling me how great tennis is. As far as some soccer, Real Madrid beats Atletico in penalty kicks. Ronaldo gets the game-winning penalty kick, then proceeds to rip off his shirt. You knew that was coming a mile away, so congratulations to Real Madrid. Atletico, again, they can never seem to win the title. They're always second. Copa America is taking place in the United States this year. That will get going the end of this week. United States has a tough group. They start with Colombia. They'll be lucky to get out of the group. I don't expect a long run for the United States in this tournament. The Euros will start in June, so you got a lot of good soccer coming up. Believe it or not, the Olympics is around the corner. The Olympics is in August. I just remember the last Olympics in London. That was 4 years ago already. When I was a kid, it seemed like the Olympics never got here. 4 years seemed like 40 years. Now it seems like 4 years goes in a blink of an eye. The Olympics are already here. All they're talking about with the Olympics is this Zika virus. That's all they're talking about. They're saying they may postpone the Olympics or move it. Listen, with all the money wrapped up in this, 2 months to go, they are not moving the Olympics. They are going through with it. Believe me, Zika virus or not, the Olympics will be played in August. You can guarantee that down there in Rio. All right, there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are set. So you got your NBA Finals starting on Thursday. You got Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals on Wednesday. You got your baseball. You got a lot of stuff going on in the sports world. You guys stay happy, healthy, and safe. Thanks as always for the support. If you're betting the games, pick a lot of winners, make a lot of money. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.